All right, so we are live and it's TIP Annual Conference 2020. We have an interesting person in the house. You know, today I told you that we're going to be talking education. And we have brought you a lineup of amazing educators in the country who have not just, you know what I say about our speakers. The information they have is not what you go on Google and say, I don't need to be here, I'll just get it from Google. No, these are people who know exactly what they are doing. So today we're looking at education in different aspects. We do homeschooling, we do education proper, we do how parenting, is involved in education and all that. But today we are starting off now with the amazing Ronke Posh. I like that name. The first time I came in contact, with that name, I was like, okay, Ronke Posh, that's a good one. So we have Ronke Posh in the house, and we already have our audience live, both on our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel as well. On Telegram, people are already logged on, viewing us as we are live. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm going to be reading a bit about Ronke Posh. So please stay with me as we get to understand who our guest is this morning. So our guest is already in the studio, and as soon as I'm done with the introduction, we are going to be letting the guest. I'm going to be in the background while our guest continues. All right. Someone is asking what's on my shirt. Yes, he says because I'm the coach. That's why. All right. So we have Ronke Adeniyi. But Ronke Adeniyi is fondly called Ronke Posh. She's fun-loving, energetic, enthusiastic, and a lover of God, a wife and a mom. She holds a BSc in biochemistry from Queen Mary University of London and a master's degree in business administration from the University of Hull in the United Kingdom. Ronke Posh is also certified and experienced in Montessori directress. She received her training from the Modern Montessori Institute in London and holds a postgraduate diploma in education. Ronke Posh has vast experience in banking, education, and children's entertainment sector. Somehow, most of the coaches that we've had here are just like me, the experience in banking part, yeah? She's a serial education entrepreneur who loves to empower and motivate the young and the old to greater heights. She owns the best preschool and primary school in Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. It's called La Posh School. Ronke Posh also runs a children entertainment company called Posh Party Packs. Ronke Posh is the founder of the Helps at Homes initiative, which focuses on parenting in the 21st century and the proper recruitment of domestic workers in homes in order to prevent risk to families. She's passionate about the subject as a result of being a victim herself after she relocated to Nigeria from the UK. Ronke Posh has an interest in protecting children who are often victims of dangerous domestic workers. Ronke Posh is also a parenting practitioner. She's a certified family life therapist and a practitioner of neuro-linguistics programming. She uses this to coach and support parents in a parenting Facebook community called Parent Tribe. She runs training courses online and offline, and she's also a public speaker. Ronke Posh has featured on many platforms: NTA, TVC, Guardian newspaper, Nations newspaper, and even several blogs. She's the author of the best-selling book for kids called Right Kid 101 and the newly published book 101 Tips to Curb Beating and Shouting. I think I like the newly published one. You know, this beating and shouting thing. Anyway, it's good. In this conference, every speaker that have come here have been able to break the table. We have broken the table. My team said that we've broken the table of yelling and flogging. and there's no table anymore, that we need a mat. When next we're going to have a conversation on that. But let me tell you how I met Ronke Posh myself and how I connected with her. When I started my journey as a parent coach, I went on Facebook and had interest, and the Parent Tribe group was actually one of the first Facebook parenting groups that I saw that had the kind of direction, that made sense to me. Other ones were, mothers coming to share gossip, coming to say all sorts of things. But I found that particular group. In fact, I was amazed. It was amazing. And I started to also share in that group. I've been privileged to speak on her platform twice. And today, we have the amazing Ronke Posh in the building. And she's going to be sharing today school education in this, COVID-19 and post-COVID-19 era, and everything that has to do with parenting around it. Of course, we know that everything revolves around parenting. You're welcome here, ma'am. Thank you for doing it. We don't take it for granted. So I'm going to be leaving the studio, and you will have the floor while I'm in the backstage working with you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for all that you do. You've been working so hard. Thank you to everyone that is joining us now, and for those that will join us later. I will not take too much time because I know that we all have to rest this weekend. So I'll get straight to it. I've already been introduced. I'm Ronke Posh, and I think I know quite a number of people in this group already. And I enjoy parenting and education. So Wendy has invited me here to her conference to talk about education during the COVID and post-COVID. So a number of us have children who are at home, online, going to school online, and majority of the country have children who are at home but are not online. So they are learning in one way or the other, or they are not learning, or they're not being engaged in one capacity or the other. Most of the schools that are online now are mostly in Lagos State. Most of the children that are going to school online are mostly in Lagos State. And they represent less than 10% of the whole of Nigeria. So we can essentially say that the whole of Nigeria, our children are not in school. And when I say our children are not in school, I'm talking about children in preschool, primary school or elementary, secondary school, and post-secondary school. They are at home and they are not really well engaged at the moment, which is quite concerning at this time. So what is education at this time like for us in the country? What is education like for us when we do return? Oyo State, for example, have been told that they would resume school and there will be no third term, which means that that might happen in Lagos State. The chances that third term will be cancelled is very high, and the chances that even if it's not cancelled, there will be forced accelerated learning for our children, and they would have to pack a lot of content into them. And we must consider the stages of development of children. Children need to hit certain milestones. Already as it is, it's about 4 months that many children have not been going to school. So I'm the director at the Posh School. Pre-COVID in Nigeria, pre the lockdown, we had already done a lot of research, and we kind of like figured that it will come to Nigeria. So we already had some plans in place. When the schools were locked down 2 weeks before end of term, we started to pilot in the school to ensure that we had a strategy when we needed to continue. So when it was time for schools to continue, we hit the ground running, and to the glory of God, last week, our children graduated online, and they've done really, really well. Now, we didn't get a lot of direction from the government. If we waited, then what would have been? We must understand that we are raising children that are global citizens and not local champions. What is the value of education to the average Nigerian parent? I've come to realize that many parents in Nigeria do not genuinely value education. Many just send their children to school because other people are doing it. They will actually feel a bit silly if they don't send their children to school, because this COVID revealed a lot. A lot of parents in schools were fighting the school management when it was a time for us to collaborate. It's not a time for war. It's a time to work together in unity in the best interest of the children. And those parents that were fighting the schools They need to understand that their children will return to the schools. So we need to work together. In any way that people have burnt bridges, they really need to begin to repair those bridges, because we are working in the best interest of our children and also for our nation. So it's not a time for war. So without much further ado, as they say, I will love to share my screen with you, and I will do that straight away. I will be sharing my screen. Let me see what I've got there. Just bear with me while I find my presentation. I hope this is it. So I think I figured it out. Okay, so here we are. So this is me in a nutshell. Can we see the screen? Reload.
Yes, ma'am. We can see your screen.
Okay, I think it's the wrong screen anyway.
It just went up also. Okay.
Let me bring that back down. Give me a second. Let's share the PDF again. Yeah, there we go. Bingo. Okay, so we can see nice and clear. Can you confirm, Wendy? Can you see?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So I'll forge ahead. Now, so as I've already said, this is the topic I was given: education in Nigeria during and post COVID-19. Okay, let's enter full screen. So where are the areas of focus for us today? We'll be focusing on the children, the parents, and the educators. Right in the center is the Nigerian government. And we have schools that are public and we have schools that are private. The children, are we raising global citizens or are we raising local champions? And the parents, are they value driven? Do they actually value education at this time? Or they're happy to have their children at home running errands for them and just sitting at home, not engaging in formal education? And then what is happening to the educators at this time? So let's go. The current state, as some of you may know, some of the parts of the puzzle, we have educators right in the center. So educators, what is happening with school closures? The schools are closed physically, but they are minority, like I said at the beginning, they are online. A lot of schools have not paid their teachers salaries since February. Many haven't paid since March. So how are those teachers surviving? How are they feeding their families? How about educators? Educators have been forced to go and have side hustles. Some of them have resorted to begging online, which is affecting the already struggling brand of the average teacher or educator. Now, these educators, oftentimes when they don't do well in school, they are told that they should go and teach. Oh, until you find a job, why don't you just go and teach? But right now, a lot of teachers have been forced to upskill. They've been forced to upskill, and yet they are now supposed to be tech gurus that will save the whole of Nigeria. That's the current state of, that's the joke that we have essentially. So you want these teachers to suddenly upskill and change and save the nation. So a lot of them are already in alternative businesses. A lot of them are not coming back into the educational system because they were struggling before. Now, if they're doing a business that is taking off, why would they bother? And as it is, we do not even have enough teachers in the country. We need more teachers. So right now is not the time for us to be losing teachers. Okay, so we've talked about the educators. Let's now talk about the parents. What is the current state? Minority of the parents are settled. These are the 10% of the parents that I said in Nigeria, not just Lagos State, that are settled with their children studying online. Some of them, their children are studying online in Lagos. Some of them, their children are studying around the state, country, and some of them, their children are even studying abroad. So minority are settled. Many of them are frustrated because they can't go to work. They're not earning as they should. They just even don't enjoy having the children at home. I'm sure we've heard on this conference in one way or the other. A lot of parents don't actually enjoy having those children at home. A lot of parents are seeking other alternatives. Many are started looking for schools around the world to engage their children, since many schools are not actually engaging their children online. Poverty levels continue to rise amongst parents, and the impact on their relationships, so be it marriage or with their children, is getting worse. Mental and emotional well-being of many parents is also being stretched and challenged at this time. So this is the impact that we have. This is like a mini impact analysis of what is happening with our parents. Okay, so we talk about educators, we talk about parents. And then now we have the current state for the children. What is happening with the children? Again, minority of the children are settled. So when I talk children, I'm talking about preschoolers, elementary, secondary school, even children in university. Minority of them are settled. Even the ones in university, many of them are not even schooling in Nigeria. The ones in Nigeria are still struggling to onboard them on different learning management systems. So the challenge is there. So what happens when our children are unsettled? There's abuse. So there's verbal abuse, physical abuse happening at home. There's sexual abuse happening at home. There's delinquency. There's crime rate that is on the increase. So many things are happening, and that's part of the reason why we had to ease the lockdown. Okay, our children are confused, very, very confused at this time. What is happening? When you ask a child, even the ones that are going to school online, what would you like? They will talk to you about wanting to go back to school, missing their friends, wanting to be on the playground. That social interaction is missing. The children miss it so much. There's a virtual life that we should be thankful for. At least we can have this conference virtually. However, wouldn't it be nice for us to be able to have it physically and give ourselves hugs? What is going to happen when the children come back to school? We'll get there. Again, some of the children are indifferent. They don't even know what is going on. They're just engaging in one thing or the other. They just don't know. They don't even like school anyway. So this is just the time of their life where they can get online, they can watch movies, they can play games, they can watch pornography, and they can do anything they want. So for some children, they are indifferent. Again, mental and emotional well-being. Many of them are at home, not fully engaged, not happy, a lot of them had exams to do that they were preparing for, and look what happened to them. So they're not really, really happy at this time. Okay, so we move on. Current state. What is the current state of our government? If anybody can tell me what the current state of the government is, maybe I should just give a gift right now, because I'm as confused as many of the citizens of the country are. When the schools were locked down, there was essentially no direction after that. There was quiet. We could literally hear a pin drop. We didn't hear anything from the Lagos state government. And when we started to ask and probe, it was different kind of information that I was hearing, that people were hearing. Many people didn't know if they should start third term. Some states were threatening, if you start third term, even if it's online, you will be arrested, you'll be sanctioned, this would happen, that would happen. We didn't know what was going on. This state is saying they're doing this, that state is saying they're doing that. The federal government is giving this direction, the state government is giving that direction. So what exactly are we doing in the country? Now, if there's a challenge with our leadership, if there's a challenge with direction, then what happens to the rest of the citizens? I can remember post lockdown and post resumption of the supposed third term, I kept saying people should look for plans for themselves and their children and their schools to ensure that they can get online. If you wait for the government, you might wait for a long time. And guess what? We are still waiting. Guess what? We haven't started third term. Guess what? We don't even know what will happen when we resume. Are we going to resume as third term or as first term? How is that going to affect our children now and even later? Remember, I keep saying it, we are raising global citizens. We are not raising local champions. So if they speak to your 7-year-old or your 15-year-old and they put that child side by side with another child from India or Singapore or Australia, they should be able to compete to a very reasonable level. Is that happening? What is happening to children with special needs at this time? What is going on? How are they being engaged? We're told we're going to be given tablets, we're going to be devices, they're going to be X, Y, and Z. Where are they? Where are they? Do you have one? Do you have a device? I would love to see your comment. What is it that is happening in the country? So we are in a state of confusion. That question mark is there on purpose. Then our children will be going back to school. They will be going back to school really soon, and this one is really, really big. It's a huge, big topic that I've spoken at many platforms during this time already. I'm not going to be able to cover everything, but I will try. But you can find videos about back to school post-COVID on my YouTube channel. You will find loads of videos there. Now, when our children go back to school, we don't even know when. I've said at Le Posh School, we've communicated with the parents that if we still continue to have rising cases, we are not going to open the doors to the school. No matter what, we will continue online because that is the safest thing to do for our children. So we will not return to physical school. That is what has been agreed. The parents agree with it, and we agree with it because we must look after the safety of the children and of the teachers, especially as the cases are rising right now. Now, if we are going back to school, we've been given some measures. There's been a 52-page guide from the federal government. And in summary, we should be wearing masks when we go to school. Even people have suggested bubbles like in other states, sanitizers, sinks and basins at the entrances of schools, isolation centers as well. Good to give your children immune boosters, give them fruit, give them vegetables so that their immunity is boosted. But then those isolation centers, how many schools can really afford it at this time? Already some schools don't even have a playground. They don't have enough space. So when they are in the classroom and they have to social distance, again, where are you going to put the rest of the children? Okay, let's do 3 days a week. If you do 3 days a week, how are you going to manage it? Which class comes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? How are you going to factor in blended learning? Are all your children going to have enough supervision at home? Is there going to be support in terms of technology? Are there enough devices? The challenges are many. So we've been told also that, oh, okay, don't worry, it's only content. All these terms are artificial constructs. Okay, they are artificial constructs. We understand, and our curriculum, our scheme, whatever you want to call it, should be completed by the end of August. Ideally, it really should be July. But we're giving it to the end of August so that we can factor in the COVID-19. Many schools around the world have actually finished. And like I said, we have even graduated. So if they start first term, so be it. If they start third term, so be it. We are on track on global standards. So if you say artificial constructs, we are running out of time. Today is the 25th. In another 6 days, July is gone. We have just August. August to cover 12 weeks of work. That's what we have to do. Minimum of 12 weeks of work. That is what we have to do. In fact, if you factor in the 2 weeks before school ended, you have about 14 weeks of work. Okay? Oh, it's just learning. They'll catch up where they left off. Okay, how about the little ones that have stages of development, milestones? How about those ones that easily forget what they've learned, that need constant reinforcement and have been sitting at home dormant for quite a period of time? What do we do with children like that at this time? So we must consider time as a factor right now that our children are at home, because life after COVID, I really cannot tell you, excuse me, what it's going to be like for the average person who is in a public school or even a low-cost school, because not every private school is posh and has all the facilities and is able to meet all the standards that the federal government have put in place. So what is life going to be? Well, when your child is going back to school, I've said, is it even worth going back to school? Because when children go back to school and they're crying, the teacher cannot move near them. Oh, stop crying. You can't touch them. How about somebody drops a preschooler? How do you change diapers? You want to change the diaper, or a child falls down. You know, you are just being careful so that you don't get the COVID-19. Okay, we have to learn to live with the COVID-19. We understand, but are we going to continue with masks and shields and continue moving around like zombies? Is that how our life is going to be? Is that what school is? Where is the place of social interaction? How do the children give themselves high fives? No more high fives, no more playing together on the playground, no more bodying up, nothing. How about when they're doing collaboration? When they're doing some collaboration activities in the classroom, so they have 6 children, social distance all around. Where is the fun and where is the love and the joy of learning with all this? What is life really going to be like post-COVID? We really have to think about it, because this is going to have a real impact on our children. We have to continue to be creative. We have to continue to collaborate. We have to continue to think new strategies of how we're going to get through this time, because it's going to be a very, very, well, they call it new normal, they call it unprecedented, they call it everything. I don't call it a new normal, because for me, it just cannot be, it's not normal. So what is new normal? It's just not normal. It's not normal for children not to be able to interact. A child is crying, and I can't say, why are you crying? Sorry about that. I hold you and say sorry about that. Especially the younger ones that need those interactions. Now, when the hormonal teenagers go back to school, when they go back to school, how are you going to prevent them from snugging and doing all those things that they do and not pass on the COVID? Is it safe to have school at all? Physical school? Is it safe to have that at all? How are we going to manage the public schools that have between 100 to 350 children in some classes? How are you going to social distance them? Where are you going to put them? Even if you say that you come a few days a week, where are you going to put them? Where are the devices? What do they do in the days in between? How do we monitor? How do we track assessments? What is happening? Because we live in a country where when it's time to collect money for WAEC and all these exams, there are different platforms of collecting the money. But when it's time for us to put learning online for our children, there seem to be challenges. Not long ago, if you know about an organization called Slums to School, they partnered with Microsoft and were able to get 948 children from the slums to get e-learning, and they have state-of-the-art equipment. If these people can collaborate with Microsoft and get this done, I don't even know a private school that has facilities like that that they have in those slums, and yet they are doing such a great job. If those people can do it, can our federal state government collaborate and provide this sort of facilities for our children to continue learning? Or are we just choosing not to learn? Are we choosing to embrace corruption? And are we pretending to not know that we are able to get our children online? In places like Canada, for example, where it's a developed country, there are places that are deprived areas. What do? They still ask the children to come to school at certain times, social distance with their mask XYZ, and pick up learning packs. I saw the newsletters, I read them myself. And they will get learning packs and they will get lunch, because a hungry child is not going to learn. So what is happening to our own children in our own country? There are ways around it. Can we have town criers? Can we have community devices? What can we do to ensure that learning continues? Learning has essentially stopped in Nigeria. And I know that because you're online, your child probably was also schooling online, either by WhatsApp, you're using the learning management system, one or the other. But I have here to tell you that your child is the minority. We need to worry about the rest of the children are not in school. Because if they are not in school and they become a threat to society, then you and your children are not safe. We need to get every child in school. That is the state that we need to get our children into post-COVID. It's not about my own child. I'm talking today, my own child is online learning and doing her own stuff. But is it about her? Is her husband in school? Her potential husband, is he in the, well, if he's a Nigerian, for example, is he here? Is he learning? Who are the children that we are raising? Because majority, remember, especially in the north, even before COVID, there were challenges where we have local governments that don't even have any schools at all for our children to learn. Now imagine with this COVID. So we have a huge crisis that we have to worry about in the country, because education post-COVID has to embrace everybody in the country. We have to think beyond Lagos State, 10%. We have to think of all the other states, how we can get our children on global standard. When were the last time that our children were competing internationally, innovating, creating? We need to make sure our name is on the map as Nigerians. Our children, we need them online as well, learning and competing. We are desperate for that. So how are we going to achieve that? What is post-COVID for Nigeria? The cases that are being reported, are they credible? Can we trust it? People don't even believe that the COVID is real. So there's so many challenges, and we need to address this issue. Can't finish it today, as I said, so I will conclude, because I understand that there's also time for a Q&A. As I conclude, for now, I will tell you that you are the local government of your child's education. Right now, during the COVID and post-COVID, however you want to do it, I understand that there's a homeschooling discussion that is coming into play. I will leave that to those that enjoy homeschooling. There's a homeschooling coming up. You can learn to do your homeschooling. You can learn to get children online in the country or outside the country. There was a time where my parent lived right we posted some links of some schools around the world that were taking children online. I didn't bring that here, but some people might want to get their children engaged online because you are the local government. The same way that you have a borehole or you buy water from tankers, the same way that security, you have fences and barbed wire and dogs, the same way that you have generators and inverters, the same way that you have your own private health care insurance or your hospital or you pay cash, the same way that you transport yourself up and down in your car or with your legs, you are your own local government. When it now comes to education, we now need to add it. You are the local government of your child's education, and you need to take charge of your child's education right now and even post-COVID. Thank you so much for your audience. And I will say this this was at the entrance of a university in South Africa. The message was posted for contemplation. Destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long-range missiles. It only requires the lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in examinations by the students. Patients die at the hands of such doctors. Buildings collapse at the hands of such engineers. Money is lost at the hands of such economics and accountants. Humanity dies at the hands of such scholars. Justice is lost at the hands of such judges. The collapse of education is the collapse of the nation. Is Nigeria collapsing or has it already collapsed? Thank you very much. I'll be happy to take questions. Here's another quick summary about who I am. So thank you so much, Wendy. I am done.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. You know, I was listening and there were just too many things flying at the same time. I'm wondering, are we really ready to do this? In fact, when you kept talking about the school, the functions, and you know, we've gone ahead to keep saying things like, oh no, this is the new normal. And it hit me when you said, there's nothing normal about this period. And that
Absolutely
is so
nothing.
Nothing normal. Because you know what, just screaming, oh yes, it's a new normal. What exactly is normal about it? Because exactly, it's in fact, after this session, it just dawned on me again. I've always known that the education sector is in crisis, obviously. But you know, when you were talking, it dawned on me that we're even in more crisis than we have ever been.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's something, it's a conversation that, you know, we just need to find, you know, become creative about. Yes, some of us, our children are online and it's okay, but how many children, you know, I hear parents say, hello, my children are learning, but how many children really
are the minority? I keep saying they're the minority.
Exactly. And that's what, you know, I keep telling parents, you know, we come here, we learn, we say, oh no, I'm learning for myself. How about the other people? The person your child will marry.
We're not trained to think about other people.
No, we're not. You know, I was telling someone, I said, what I do today, I started to do it for myself. But at some point, I recognized that it wasn't going to be enough doing it for myself and my children. So people need to understand what is involved. I've said it every time that for every course we create at the Intentional Parents Academy, I make my family members go through. I make my friends go through them. My parents-in-law. So whatever it is that, you know, we're doing it alone. We're just thinking. And I think that self-thinking in Nigeria is a huge problem.
Just because if your kids are fine and you are fine, can you actually drive past Oshodi safely with your windows down?
Exactly.
It's going to get worse if the children are not educated. So we must worry about the child next door. When you find that the charity is doing something, even if it's 1,000 that you have, put something there, as long as they're credible, so that they can help one more child off the streets. Otherwise, we are living at a time bomb. It's going to explode. Okay, you're going to get a plane that fly out of the country. Before you get to the airport, you will pass that Oshodi. They will block it.
Exactly. And look at
you're not going anywhere. Look at when they did the lockdown. When they did the lockdown, all those videos that were going around, and they were saying that they're going to come to Ikoyi, and they're going to come to Lekki, they're going to come and raid people's homes. People were scared. People were worried on the island. They were scared. They were like, what are we going to do? Because they have the power, a lot more power than the people that are comfortable. All they have to do is get it. No, did you hear about the 1 million boys that were up and down that time that they were going to, it was like a cult or whatever it was. You know, if we don't look after the people and get them engaged in work and in school, we will continue to be in danger post-COVID. It will get worse. So don't think about yourself alone. Adopt a child. I keep telling people, if you say, oh, I cannot have my own biological children, that's crap. Because even those that have biological children, if they swap your baby at birth, you will not even know that it's not your baby. It has happened to many people. Just grow to love children. Grow, adopt a child, get a child off the streets, help anybody that you can. If it's hard in Lagos, I heard that it's easier in the east or in the west. Go there, get a baby, make yourself happy, and get somebody off the street as well. Because we need help. Everybody now needs to start considering adoption in Nigeria so that we can get people off the streets. We need to. We must get people off the streets because it is too bad. We cannot wait for the government. The government is not going to be able to help anybody, even if they want to. We are too many. We must become the government one by one. Everybody is doing their bit one by one. You're not urinating on the street. You're not abusing your child at home. You're not doing all those things. We must ensure that we are all taking responsibility, accountability. Me waking up every day, almost every day of the COVID, I've had to speak somewhere. And someone like me, I'm a near perfectionist. I must create life. I must do something. Sometimes I'm not sleeping. And my husband is like, you know, so I'm like, let me not spoil my marriage. Let me balance the whole thing. But my heart beats for Nigeria. I came to Nigeria because of the educational system. I didn't have to come to Nigeria. My home is in Nigeria. I had a job in Nigeria. They didn't chase me. I have my passport of the UK. But I had continues to bitch for this country because this country raised me. I'm a product of Nigeria. I am proud of Nigeria any day. But am I still proud? Well, we'll get there. We will get there. But we need to be able to help somebody. Do whatever you can. It cannot be me. Our me is too much. Our cover your answer is too much. Cover your answer. Train us to cover our answer. When you're writing your test, cover your answer. Don't show anybody. You will take a Don't show anybody your style. Don't let them know your tailor. Everything we are hiding. So when it comes to even sharing things that will save our lives, we cannot share it. And this lack of sharing is even affecting schools now. Because I share on my YouTube channel. In fact, one of the reasons why I went active and I was sharing skills, I started sharing because a lot of people struggle to engage preschoolers. And I'm a preschool expert. I learned that was how I started my education because I started working with younger ones. I started sharing nursery rhymes. How do you engage them online? How do you sing to them online? How do you, engage your little ones? How do you give them activities for them to carry on so that they don't have too much screen time? I share freely on my channel. Share. We don't know how to share. A lot of things that a lot of us are even using, we get them on Google from other countries. They are sharing freely. The only way forward is to share. Right now is not a time for competition, but for collaboration among schools. Share. Tell. People would even write to me and say, look at all these things that you are even sharing. You can be doing an online course. You can be making money from it. Life is not all about money alone. Yes, I need money, we all do. But life is not about money again. We must get those help schools so that they can get. Yesterday, I was on a conference for 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. Where it was packed full of school owners. And I was just disseminating everything, telling them what it is. How do you engage people? How do I sing to the children? Go tell the little green froggy. Go. I will paint my face. I will do everything. I will sing to them. The color of the week is blue. The color of the week is blue. The color of the week is blue. The story of the week. The story of the week. I was goofing around in front of adults so that they can see that it is possible. Now, you have a private teacher for your child. I pray that it is online. Because it's risky to be bringing people to your child at home, especially when they don't even have their own car. You don't know the people in the house, where they are moving around. They can catch the COVID. The COVID is real. I have had people that we know that have died. A very close friend of mine in school has been looking for a baby for 10 good years. She was 4 months pregnant and suddenly she couldn't breathe. Hospital 1 failed her. They said they can't take her. Hospital 2, they couldn't take her. By the time she landed, is it Lut or wherever it was, she passed out and she just died. That was it. With her 4-month-old pregnancy. After looking for a baby for 10 good years. This is what happened to her in Nigeria. So be careful. That COVID is real. Don't believe it. That is not real. If you're a private teacher, make sure that it's online. Don't bring them close to your children. Now, some people will say, oh, they will wear masks. I will not bring a private teacher near my own child. So, except if they're all living in the same compound and you don't leave the compound, though, and you have a controlled environment, I doubt that anybody is doing that. But I will not bring a teacher for my own child. I would rather do it online. My daughter does violin lessons online. She does coding lessons online. Her school is online. We prefer it that way. We don't go out. So what we do in the evenings for mental, emotional well-being, we go and do exercises. We are active. We move around. We sing. We dance. And we do that. So if you want to use a private teacher, please ensure that it's online. That is my recommendation. Don't bring people into the home, especially if they're roaming about the streets. You don't even know. You can't control what they will tell you. No, I'm careful. I'm this, because they want to collect the money. The average teacher now is broke, completely broke. You've seen videos of teachers begging online. We are raising funds, trying to help teachers left, right, and center. And I keep saying it: if you're one of those teachers that are begging, don't beg, because COVID will go, and somebody will still see that your video. Somebody will see your video, and you have tarnished your brand. I understand that it's tough, but there are ways around it. I also shared on my platform, on YouTube, on everywhere, Instagram, businesses that teachers can do at this time. I even used myself as an example. I went out of my way. I wrote an ebook, 101 tips to curb the beating and the shouting, because a lot of people were beating and shouting at their children and their wives and their spouses at this time. 101 tips to curb the beating and shouting. And that book is still selling. Alert. It's still selling. It's still selling. So can you create something? And just even if it's a 1K book, 500 naira book, and it's alert is entering your account, can you create a e-work book that children can use?
A work plan for the kids.
Can you do that? Can you do sanitizers? I even created a course online on my YouTube channel. I'm just doing it, virtual assistants. How can you become a virtual assistant at this time? I'm doing admin for school. If you learn animation, you can approach schools that, okay, I don't want to teach full time, but I can be doing animation for school A, school B, school C. And you are making money that way. Can you do graphic work? I did another course again, how to do basic graphic. Put it on my YouTube channel. Go there. How to do basic graphic, learn Canva, learn Fonto, learn anything. I put it there online. What else can you learn at this time? Even bikes are collaborating, deliveries. You can be doing that. I listed so many things that people can do online at this time instead of begging online. If you beg online, your grandchildren will see it. Your great-grandchildren will see it. The internet never forgets. Make sure that you use the brain that the Lord has given you and blessed you so richly with. Use it to make money. It is possible to use it to make money at this time. I even set up a virtual assistant group for people that go through the class, put it there. 2 people have approached me to say they're looking for virtual assistants. It is possible. We just have to stretch ourselves at this time. Creativity is the master at this time. Be as creative as you can possibly be with ideas, with content. You know, approach people. You need confidence and communication. Oh, ma'am, you're doing this TP conference right now. I would love, and you volunteer. You start by volunteering. Can I help you with all this, your StreamYard that you're doing? Can I help you organize? Because it's not easy now. People that organize the conference, I hear low Wendy. I really tell you, because if things like that count me out. I will attend though, but when it comes to the rigor that goes behind the scenes, because my life is already very rigorous. But you can imagine, you need great project management skills to be able to say, okay, this speaker A, speaker B, speaker A has their content, they have the profile, it's there, or you speak very well, and you say, oh, Wendy, can I help you approach these people, call them to make sure they're comfortable, and that is 10 minutes before the conference. You can do that as an educator. You know the ideas, you support people. By the time you finish supporting Wendy for this type of thing, she will not give you anything. She must be a wicked person. Horrible. Even if she cannot give you 5K, that you help me manage, you are sending emails up and down. And that is just a contract. So it's not as if you're working, taking out full time. You've helped somebody. They will reward you for doing it, except if they are abusive. And you must be able to know the signs of an abusive leader. So the person will help you. Okay, what are you doing next? Are you going to be need to edit these videos, or are you going to need to share the links at some place or something? What else are you going to need to do so that I can help you at this time? You support. Don't beg online. There are many, many things that you can do. You can help people manage their social media. If you learn graphics, you say, oh, I can help you post every hour on the hour, or I can help you, whatever their need is, meet the need. Before you know what happens, you have a big portfolio of different clients. But if you don't try, you ain't gonna get it. You just have to move. You have to move. It's better to be crawling than to be static. You don't even have to be running. Just take that move. Take that move, because even our children need to be creative. I keep telling our children, my daughter as well, she this COVID, she has been coding every single day for 2 hours since before that when schools closed. Before 2 weeks before school closed, she's been coding. A few days ago, she was even aired on TV for the work that she has created. It is possible. She's creating. She opened a YouTube channel. Mommy opened a YouTube channel anyway. Oh, so she opened a YouTube channel that day. Posh. You can follow her. She dances. She teaches children to dance. She has been even teaching children to dance even before now. She can make money by doing that. I told her you can write a book as well. She started writing a book. Kids are doing things. Kids are making money. They are making millions as well at this time. So don't assume that it is not possible. Some of you say, I don't want my child on social media. I don't want my child on social media. You can manage your child on social media because they can make money. You manage the child. My daughter has an Instagram account, but I'm the one that has the password and everything. I'm the one that posts her dance videos where she had to even go and dance in front of people, 2,000 people at Eco Hotel. I manage the account. You say, oh, I don't want spirit people to touch my child. In this day and age, let's not even go there. Mr. There's great conversation going on here. My personal people, that's right. Wendy and Ronke Posh, well done between women of substance. Keep soaring and inspiring. Thank you, sir, and thank you for modeling as well. Mr. Kilami also has a program going on. I don't know how you guys do it, but you guys are the real MVPs. Well done. Faithful Aunties says, how do we assist schools in the rural area with parents who are not tech inclined? So I will assume that Faithful was not here from the beginning. So I did give an example and make reference to countries that are first world. They still have deprived areas and they still reach them. Some of them would actually say, okay, meet at the local fast food restaurant. We will make sure that there's a router there, and then you can connect your device there. Some of them will loan devices. I know loaning devices will not work in Nigeria. Probably steal it. They were loaning laptops and loaning devices for children to be able to engage online. Where it was really, really bad, they told them that meet in school and we will give you lunch and learning packs. So you can do that. So can our children come? Okay, maybe 20 of you come at 1 o'clock, collect your learning packs. And lunch will be nice because hungry children don't learn. So you give them learning packs. Can we have a town crier that can be going around and be saying, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 2. Oh, this is the story of the week. When we were small, we used to say the tortoise and the hare. The day somebody goes around. It is possible if we want to do it. Everything is not technology. Everything is not technology. Even with our preschoolers, everything wasn't technology. Somebody and teachers in the locality, can we raise them on a platform and they come in the morning and say, oh, this morning we're going to be learning about plants. These are the parts of the plants. This is the project I want you to do. I want you all to go home and get a bean seed and plant it in the cup and just announce it. It doesn't have to be computers. It can even be SMS. Mama Sikira, oh, please tell Molade that this is what she has to do. Mama Idoma, tell her that this is what she has to do. It doesn't have to be fancy Zoom. You're zooming into somebody's house. You're using one. No. You don't need a funky LMS to get learning done. You don't. You do not. So people, we can have food soldiers. We can have food soldiers. It's possible because it's time to go to church. Everybody, let's go to church, and we will all hear this message. Whether we have on a computer or not, we hear the message when it's time to go to church or go to mosque. But when it's time to learn, we now bring all the excuses in the world. No, it is so possible. Even without technology, we can print out books. So tell them, today we are doing page 17 of the English textbook and page 20 of the maths textbook, or write number 1 to 200. Just let learning continue. It cannot be perfect right now. It wasn't anyway, but let it continue. Let's stop the excuses at this time. Learning must continue. And you must take autonomy of your child's education. Don't wait for the school. Don't wait for the government. You, as the parent, must take charge of your child's education. Start looking for schools that they can be in, that will make them, put them on the map. Your children must be on the map. We are not here to be forgotten. Let your light so shine before men that men will see your good works and glorify the Father that created you. Because why would you come and be forgotten? Your child should not come to us and be forgotten. The footprint must be recognized. The footprint of your child must be recognized. How are you going to make that happen? By keeping them at home? By working for a government? By working for a school? No, you are the child school. You are the child school. What my daughter was in the media last week. The school didn't make it happen. The government didn't make it happen. It was God and me that made it happen. So you make sure that you do whatever it is, you pump it into those children. Don't rest. Let your children, my daughter can do all this online. I don't even need to. She's 14. I don't need to be saying, hey, this is how to press this. I don't, but we sit on the same desk every day. You will come to school, no oversleeping. And we dress up. We wake up in the morning, we are dressed. Even on Sunday, going to church, we are dressed to do it. We do everything. Whatever is worth doing at all, we do it big. You get big or you get out. That's just the way it is. You must ensure that you are grooming your child intentionally. You are grooming a child. You must. I tell my daughter, if I drop dead out of COVID, you must be able to cope, even at 14. You use that brain that God has given you and work your way out of anywhere that they put you, and you are going to be fine. If I die now, I know she's going to be fine. She's going to fine, not because of the school or the government. You are the local government of your child.
At that point, you see the death part. I'm going to talk. You know, a few days ago, I still told the people in the TIP Academy that the truth is that if you're thinking that when you are dead and your children will survive, there's something wrong with what you're doing currently.
Absolutely.
And you need to go and review it. Thank you. Sorry for cutting you short there. Thank you so much.
It's fine. Thank you for reinforcing it.
I was almost jumping and saying hallelujah as you were talking.
Yeah, thanks for reinforcing. You have to keep pushing this message out.
Yes,
you must.
Yes. Someone actually says that we need to get these on national TV. To be honest, I also feel the same way. Honestly speaking, if you have anybody on TV, please, this conversation needs to actually be aired, right on TV. Honestly,
I've had these conversations online. I've had these conversations since COVID. I'm always on TV. I'm always go down my YouTube channel. These messages are there. But the thing is are there people absorbing it? I know there's some absorbing it. But is it like the other? Is that what's happening? So the government, I won't say they don't know what to do, but there are some things that they prioritize over and beyond our children's education.
And education is what I agree with you, man.
They are clever people. They know what to do. Look at somebody like 586 million now. Fainting. Fainting. What happened to 586 million? There's no accountability. Do you know what 586 million can do in the educational sector? They're saying they can't get children online. Do you know what 586 million can do to our children right now? It will not cover the whole country. But do you know how many children in those so-called deprived areas that 586 million, and it's just one person, no, this just, what I'm saying? It's not all the thefts, all the trillions and trillions of money. Imagine all the money that they are recovering. Just pour a quarter of it in the educational sector. We are sorted. We are sorted. Is it teacher training we want? Is it material we want? Is it buildings we want? Is it data we want? When they are giving people, school leaders, 10 million naira, no. Was it 51 million naira? I can't remember the figure, but I think it's about 51 million naira. Edu just had that news on Facebook. I think it was about 51 million naira for school leaders in public school to have Zoom calls, Zoom conferencing, 51 million. When in the north, they bought 100 devices for 100 million, which means that one laptop was selling at 1 million naira. If we have money, we have money, but it's not that we don't have the money, but What are we doing with the money? How are we spending it? We are our own worst enemies in Nigeria. Our own worst enemies. And that's why I keep saying it. If you're waiting for the government to set you free, you're wasting your time and the time of your children. Take charge of your child's education right now. Take charge of your child's education. Normally, typically, a lot of people, they would let their children do secondary school, A levels or whatever it is, and send them abroad. Some people would let them. Now, they do secondary school, they will send them abroad. Then they will do year 9 now, this is JSS 3, they will send them abroad. Guess what now? It has come to primary school. Finish primary school, they send them abroad. We are building the human capital of other countries. Our own people, they cannot wait to jump on a plane and go to Canada instantly. That is the dream of the average youth. If you open all the borders in Nigeria, it will empty out in seconds. Yes. The average youth wants to get out. That is what they are doing. The people that are selling how to go to Canada now, that is the business that is booming. You will be seeing Facebook ads up and down. How to go to Canada, how to go to Canada. You will see comments. These people are making money, even if they don't even know how to get to Canada, because the demand is there. People want to get out of the country. There are so many issues with everything. But let me tell you something. Getting out of the country is not the answer. I've been lived in UK for 20 good years. It's not the answer. And I had high-profile job. I work in Barclaycard. I work in Citibank, RBS, John Humby. I work in multinational organizations at top level. And so I know what I'm talking about. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. This is it. Don't go and wash plates anywhere and be cleaning and mopping anywhere. You don't want to do that. Let us invest in our country and get our country out of this mess. The only thing that can save Nigeria right now is education. The only thing that can save Nigeria, it's not money that we need, it is education. Even the people, men that are urinating on the streets, if you educate them and tell them the reason why they should stop doing it, they will stop doing it. But they're not educated. They are not. So I can say that it's almost an hour now, so I will not extend too much because I know I can talk too much sometimes. So over to you, Wendy. Thank you.
Whoa, no, I'm enjoying the conversation. Honestly, I can listen to this conversation in the next 3-4 hours. It's been so amazing listening to this conversation. You know, when Ronke Posh was talking about, you know, having to do sessions every day, having to do run things and all that because of, you know, the crisis we have at hand. I was telling someone recently that I think I've actually worked more ever in my life, you know, in this COVID-19 than any other time ever in my own life. As in, I'm having to do, you know, a battle. At some point, I had to self-pace myself and step back because there's just so much to do. You know, there's just so much to do. We're running this conference. Taiwo Akinlami is running a conference. I'm speaking at that conference tomorrow as well. So there's just so much. And the conversation we are talking, and we're hoping that what we're saying is going to create a change that we want, you know, to come. Because there's just
even the schools that are saying they're struggling and they haven't paid since February, because I know that there will be educators and people that are impacted. Teachers have not been paid. Even the schools, and I don't like to talk from my own strong points. I keep saying it. Even the so-called schools, what planning do you have financially for your school that immediately when there was the COVID lockdown, you cannot go salary again? Are you telling lies, or you did not plan? No time of financial plan, no buffer at all. This conversation, people don't want to hear this one because they'll say, hey, she has money. This did that because they've seen my bank account. You know, I always post it online, my bank balance. She has money. That's why she's talking like that. No matter what, you can't just tell me that from February, even before the lockdown, you have not paid teachers. March, you have not paid teachers. Now, even people that pay half salary, we thank God for them. Our teachers at school have been engaging and we've been paying them full salary. We are not a big mighty school, we're a medium-sized school, and they work so hard. They give up their holidays. They have sleepless nights for your children, and they will not get paid. That is unfair. Parents too that have the money that they don't want to pay, even if you don't have a lot, pay something to keep things moving. Schools have loans. Schools have some of them. Many people don't know that the COVID was going to come. They had painted. They had done all sorts of things. Artificial grass, toys for your children to play with. They've invested in library, invested in all sorts of things, digital products, and then the COVID happened. Of course, is it not just online? They want to collect all this money. Value is value, and I thank God for the Posh parents. Brag about them. Whether getting online or not, it is value. I know how many nights I did not sleep. Content development. You think I'm just going to go and download something on the internet? I don't refer my children to YouTube to go and be watching other people's products. We created content right from scratch. Right from scratch. And you're telling me you're not going to pay for it? Thank God I don't have any. I don't even have one single parent like that. And that is why everybody is not your customer. That is why everybody is not your customer. If everybody is your customer, then you will have the schools that are having challenges. We have big schools that cannot even get any traction right now. Big mighty schools that have been around for many years, they are still in school. When people like us, we have graduated, we are drinking morning coffee, we've forgotten all about it. We're already planning for another term. We have schools that are still in school, big schools that we should be following. Because of what? You have the wrong tribe. You need your tribe, your own tribe as a school. Because Le Posh moved forward, we did our graduation. Our graduation was grand. It was so grand that Vanguard has picked it up, Punch newspaper has picked it up. Why? Because there was collaboration amongst the teachers, among the parents and the pupils. We worked together as a team. We were not fighting. If they have any issue, they come direct to us. They don't set up WhatsApp group and say they want to bring the school down. Shame on all those parents that did that. The people that have been raising your children, and then you're now coming against them saying that they want to exploit you and take your money during the COVID. The COVID happened to us. It did not happen to parents. And I stand in the position as a parent and a school leader. If I cannot pay my daughter's school fees at this time, I will go and approach the school manager.
Wow, that was some fire raining over the TIP conference today. I'm sure that the network has just booted Ronke Posh off, and I'm sure she will be back here in no time. Okay,
I didn't even see that one happening.
Yes,
I didn't even see that one happening. So I was just concluding by saying that people were setting up WhatsApp group. If you don't have money, communicate with the school. Don't keep quiet. And schools should also communicate with their parents. You should be talking. Nobody knows what to do. You are saying this one here, parents are not paying. And they say, hey, they want to collect our money. Talk together. Come to a compromise. Talk. Do your surveys. Send out questionnaires. And don't value education enough to pay for it. If you go and school in Harvard, they won't say because it's online, come and take it for 50 kobo. No. Value is value. I know what I was giving out. My parents were telling me that, some of them were telling me that, Miss Ronke, your newsletter was full of empathy and love. I love your newsletter, and that newsletter is enough for me to pay. If I don't have the money, I'll go and beg more just because of my newsletter. Imagine that. I had parents tell me that, oh, Miss Ronke, your videos were awesome. I had to forward it to my friends so that they can forward it to their children's school, so that they can model it. That cost me sleepless nights. That possibly almost even cost me my marriage. And you won't pay for it. No. Then you're not my customer. Please don't come to Le Posh school. I keep telling people, anyway, Le Posh school is not for everybody. Right now, my hair is like this. When I had a mohawk, when people come say, hey, educators, look at her hair. And I tell you, don't belong here. Because if my mohawk is your problem, you have not seen problem yet. You haven't. Because how does the hair and the appearance of somebody stop the learning of your children? How does it stop them from teaching your children effectively? How? We keep judging. We must move on. We must move on. Value education enough to pay for it. Then people are saying now, they suffer at home with their children. Their children show them pepper. They show them pepper. They say, the teachers are trying. The teachers are trying. The teachers are trying. We are trying. We are not trying anything. We are doing a damn good job with your kids. So now the children are at home showing you pepper. Good luck to you. Good luck. Let them show you pepper. So now when you see a teacher next time, you will salute. You will say, I will. And those teachers, and I keep talking about teacher branding. If you're a teacher, let's connect. Teacher branding, you must change your brand. You must be respected. I don't run a school where parents will come and shout at the teacher. My child is not doing well. You can't do that at a posh school. Forget about it, you're in the wrong school. Get your own tribe. Teachers must be respected. Like in Finland, they pay them a heck of a lot of money. To be a teacher, you need a postgraduate degree to be a teacher, even to teach preschool. In Nigeria, they'll get house girls to come and be teaching in school. Why would they disrespect us? I'm waiting for the parents to come and disrespect me. I keep saying it. I will not place myself in a position. I will do my job so well, and I will present myself so well that there will be no reason for you to disrespect me. From start to finish of our online learning, we didn't have all those disrespecting kind of thing. We managed every situation properly. We were listening. We were giving. We were pushing. You must build the teacher brand. I go on about it. The only way is education, and the people that must educate and join our sector. We need people. We need people from all around the world to join the education sector, because there are people that will give. If I was not having friends and interacting with young tech people, older tech people, I would have been among the people that were struggling. But the minute the COVID hit, I already knew technology was easy for me. I've already been doing videos online. I've already been creating content. So is it content? What do I need to create now? In my dream, I will edit a video. In my dream, I will create anything. I will sing any song. I will do any kind of content. I will do it immediately because I had already embraced technology from time. I've already been a creative person from time. So come and bring COVID for me. It didn't stop nothing. Everything was covered. They said, chunk it down, give them small, because they're online. Give them small. They're bored. The children want that work. Miss Ronke, are you sending the next video? They want work. Think about them sitting at home and I'm saying, oh, give them chunk it down. Yes, chunk it down. Don't send notes and all those type of things. But when they say chunk it down, they don't mean you should be giving them notes to copy. We don't even do all that one, even post-COVID or pre-COVID. We don't even do all those nonsense. We mind map at the point. There are strategies to be able to engage children online. Our children were begging us. Even now, they're already saying summer camp. I'm like, I go and meet your parents and do summer camp there. Go and disturb them. Let me rest. Let me wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. Let me to sleep and do anything I want. But we must value education. That is just the summary of it. Right now, we don't value education. We must value education. Formal education is what will place us on the map. They must not. We are so clever. If you go to America, England, even when I had my baby, Nigerian doctors are the ones that are there everywhere. They're the ones that are there. So why can't we keep losing them? Education. Tech people, they are living. Developers, they are living. Everybody is living.
Wow.
I'm done.
When you started this conversation on the premise of we do not really value education, and I think that's where we're going to be ending this conversation. We really do not. If we do, there are lots of conversations that happen during the COVID and and all this period that happened between parents and teachers. That I found it really repulsive that parents were asking, are we going to pay for online school? I didn't get it. I couldn't understand it myself. I have my children are in a school that works so hard. They've always been online even before the COVID. So it was so easy, to migrate. And I remember when Miss Bankole, said, oh, this, I went to her to say, what is the fees? We need to pay. We need to pay. I don't know why we want to take, educators for granted. I don't know why we see education as something that is secondary. Meanwhile, it is the primary thing, and it's because we haven't valued the education enough. That's why the government is also, because who is the government? The government is the society. The society is us. The society comes from the family. So it is what we put in that we actually see out there. So parents in themselves do not even, the ordinary person on the street, they just the children are at home, it's okay. And when they resume, parents are not bothered. A lot of parents are not bothered.
Another thing, Wendy, that is very important is that a lot of parents are living beyond their means, and they are putting their children in schools that they can actually not afford. Because when the COVID happened and third term was about to happen, it is not the beginning of third term that people should have started lamenting, because you should already have had that money saved up if you were actually planning to pay. But because they actually are living beyond their means, oftentimes they beg, borrow, steal to pay these school fees. And that is why they hate school owners. They hate school owners because they are living beyond their means. If you are in a school that you can afford for your child, then you won't even worry. Not to brag, I prioritize education so much so that my daughter's school fees has been paid for the year. So when this COVID happened, anyone that want to do, if you want to do monthly fee, they will just write us a letter. Anything you want to do, the credit is on the account. Because I value education. And the way my husband and I think is that if we just, something happens to us and we, God forbid, we die, at least those few months, let it not be that they will say, who will help her pay the next 10 school fees? Who will, that's sorted. That's sorted. Let that not be a worry. Let that not be a worry. You plan. So I can remember having this conversation on my Facebook group, and somebody was saying, oh, you're just giving the school interest to. Let them take the interest, yeah? Let them take the interest. That's not my concern. My concern is my daughter, that there's continuity for my daughter. And guess what? When the COVID happened, the least of our worries was school fees. September will come, we're still not going to be thinking about school fees, but to the glory of God. Because that is how much we prioritize school fees. We prioritize school fees in this house over everything. After God, the school fees. I can still sleep in my brother's house, my father's house, anywhere. I can sleep anywhere. But that school fees must be paid. It is always top notch for us. School fees, we must pay it. If people can be thinking like that, when COVID happened, it's not to go and form WhatsApp group with all those parents and all those parents. And if you have all the people doing WhatsApp group, you have little friends. Little people are thinking, they're not thinking well. I read one from another school. It's like a school of 30-something years old. They were saying on the WhatsApp group, because they munched it and sent it to me. Captured the screen, sent it to me. We're going to bring that school down. They've been making profits all this year. It's our turn to have money. What sort of unreasonable chicken cockroach mentality is that? Who's told you to go and enroll your child in the school if you felt they were making money off you? How dare you?
Wow.
How dare you? Do you know the sacrifices that school owners make? Do you know? When I was moonlighting and working in the bank, 2 hours commuting to Canary Wharf every day, for 7 good years, I was shipping containers home to have material in the school. I was working Saturday and Sunday as well. Were you there? And you're saying that school owners are making money. Why won't they make money? They should wait for you. They should be suffering, eh? I think they post one time that went viral about school owners. Parents don't want them to do well. They don't want them to look good. They want to go on summer holiday.
Once you see a school owner buy a new car, they have a problem with it.
School owner will buy a car and be hiding it so that parents will not see it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I once had a conversation with my children's school owner, and I said to her, I don't think you're charging parents enough. She looked at me with a shock in her face. You are the first parents I've actually ever said that. I said, yes, because for the value that I'm getting, I'm thinking that people should pay more. She said, that she's just trying to, manage it, that even the last time she was in the US, she needed to not to share pictures. I said, for what? Why? You are in business to make money.
I will share it. I will it. In fact, one time I did a post, I went viral on different education platforms. That post, I said, the name of the post is Set Yourself Free. If you hashtag Ronke Posh and put Set Yourself Free, educators were coming to say, thank you, Ronke, God bless you. I can't travel. I don't want them to know anything that I have because they will judge me. Why would you judge me for working hard? Did I borrow the money from you? Why would I feel bad? I said, you know what? I'm going to change this teacher brand. If you have a problem with me, come and see me. I'm going to live so well. You will look at, why should I be suffering? And you will be enjoying. It's okay for you to go to London. It's not okay for you and your children to go to America. But you want your children to be taught by people that have cockroach mentality. How can somebody with cockroach mentality raise an Obama? How can somebody with cockroach mentality raise Oprah Winfrey, raise an astronaut, raise engineers? Somebody that is thinking small of all their own is barely economy. What am I going to eat? That's something that will teach you critical thinking skills. Those will make you so dynamic. Somebody that is hungry, no can do. If any money, I don't even call myself, I call myself an edupreneur because I'm in this education platform it and I'm in this education. Make money.
Yes.
Make money.
Yes.
I will make digital products. I will speak. I will talk. I will train. I will mentor. I will do everything doable in this education. All people are saying that education section, they're living into the crisis. This is the time to make money. Don't go now. This is it. You are not looking at the 106 opportunities in the education value chain. You are only because people think so small. They think if you are not a teacher, you are a school owner. School owner is the only. If I know what I know now, I will not have a school, and I will be making more money. But people don't understand the value chain in education. The money is there to be made. This is the time. Don't make the mistake of looking elsewhere. This is the time. Come and see people online courses everywhere. People are not educators. What do you think they're doing? Teachable. The mounting courses up and down. What do you think they're doing? Do you get it? Can you connect the dots? You close your school down, are you going to be a consultant? What are you going to do? You just have to connect the dots, and you will realize that you are sitting on a mountain of money. Connect the dots and stop working with chickens, because they will not let you fly. You are an eagle. Because if you work with chickens, they will not let you see the opportunities that abound in this educational sector, even during COVID. I know money is entering my account during this COVID. But people cannot see it because they think school fees is not coming in. School fees is the least of my worries. School fees? Wow. If I know what I know now, the school is, I don't feel like the school is disturbing me sometimes. I always feel like to go and do, let me go and enter, let me go and, you know, because I understand the value chain of education. And I said there are 106 things that you can do. Even now, you can even integrate artificial intelligence into education. What do you think is going to be happening in schools post-COVID? When AI is fully implemented, who are the people they will call to implement AI in technology if you don't start training yourself now? Imagine I said I'm an educator with AI experience and machine learning, and they will not pay me. You better wake up and smell the tea. There's money to be made for it. There is money in education. Just connect the dots. Go and research it. There are 106 at the very minimum that you can do in the education sector. So I thank you, Wendy.
Wow. You know, it's one of those sessions that you just do not want to end. You just do not want to end. But we just have to end it so that we can leave our speaker to also have time to do other things. If you leave me, I'm going to have Ronke Posh gist with me here forever, because it's as if she's just, you know, saying everything that is in my head about education, and I'm like, whoa, somebody's verbalizing these thoughts. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing with us. Value education enough to pay for it. I remember growing up, my father would rather not eat than not pay school fees. As in, it was so bad that I was the first person who paid school fees every time school opened. My parents were not rich. They were just, you know, civil servants. But they decided that there was a value and there was something about education they needed to do better. And, you know, that gave me a print. So today, you know, I say that parenting is reflective. So today, it's so easy for me to understand that education is the first, you know, point of call when, you know, every other thing. We have 3 children. I remember that even before our foster daughter would go to school, she was in Madonna University. School fees had gone ahead of her before she had gone to school. All right. And, you know, the twins are in school. You know, the school system will say, even before school opens, the Ologes have credited the account. So, you know, it is important that we prioritize, you know, and if you begin to live above your means, the moment you cannot pay school fees, you'll struggle with it. Please move your child from that school. Why are you fighting with the school? Move your child from this school and move the child to a lower school. I had a friend that was, you know, in a school in Abuja, you know, expensive school and everything. Things got rough and they began to borrow money to pay school fees. I called her and I said to her, move your children to a lower school. When things get better, you can bring them back. It is not competition anywhere. And they did. Interestingly, they moved their children to a school church where, you know, the money was so minimal, and they went through it for 2 years. 2 years later, they took their children to even a bigger school because things became so good. So it is not competition anywhere. I keep telling people that the moment I can afford to pay any kind of school fees, I'll take my children to public school and I'll go to that public school and make it better. So you need to understand that you need to do these things, you know, according to where you are per time, so that you're not fighting the school. You're not angry that the school proprietor is making money. You're not upset that a school is growing. All right. In fact, I tell my school, my children's directoress that she's afraid of making money. That's what I tell her. I said, Ma, you are afraid of making money. In fact, I've had sessions with her, you know, to talk about, you know, different sources of income. I said, why are you afraid of making money? What exactly are you afraid of? So we need to come to terms with the fact that the educators are doing so much for our children, and we can't take that for granted. There are a lot of things that they do in school that I can't do. I can't run a school. I can't run a school. That's the truth. Because there's a lot to do, with it. The academy I run for parents already is already overwhelming, not to talk of running a school for children. And you don't even want to, think about, all that. And thank you, Ronke Posh, for sharing what can be done in this COVID-19. They were so practical. They were so tenable. They were, they're so vivid. These are not things that you need to go and get from the air. These are things that, we can practicalize in our local community. How can we begin to help this local community to learn? But Ronke Posh has said today, we must ensure that the children are learning. Whichever way that we do it, we need to ensure that our children are learning. And if you're a teacher, Ronke Posh shared in this video how you can become innovative. When she was sharing about virtual assistants, we have virtual assistants, we have volunteers in TIP Academy who are volunteering on their own, doing stuff. We have PAs, doing a lot of things. Many of them are volunteers. So you can start from there and begin to launch yourself into this platform. The tech world is here to stay. It is here to stay. It's not going to go away. Right? So it's very, very important that we do this. Somebody's asking, how can you make the school your child attends better? Start by being involved. Start by being involved. When you get involved in your child's school, you begin, if you see what is wrong, don't go say, no, that's how in my child's school, you come on Facebook and tweet and write. Go to the school and help them. I have had the privilege to offer trainings in my capacity in my children's school, and it has transformed them. I'm sure my children's proprietress is here watching me, and it has transformed the school, in several ways. What can you offer? My husband dramatizes. He offered to teach drama to the children in school. What can you offer in the smallest of the barest minimum? What is it that you can do differently?
They think they've paid. So I pay school fees. What am I offering? That's the mentality. And that's why the schools even have alumni.
It's a very wrong mentality. You must get involved. I can't count trainings that I've done for. There was a time I found out that, the school guides, the bus guides, didn't have the kind of training that I was thinking. I didn't go on social media shouting, schools, you pay them, they do. No, I went there and I offered training. I offered it for free for your information. And I paid school fees as well. I cannot count how many times I've collaborated with Ms. Bankole to make her school, what is. My children are there. I do not have a choice, provided my children are in that school. So I am not going to sit back, and say, because I've paid, the school must do what they need to do. Are you kidding me? All hands must be on deck. So how to make your children's school better is to get involved. Stop saying I'm busy. You can't be busier than many of us. So all this I'm busy does not make sense to me. That's the truth. So when you bring that card, when people play that card with me, it doesn't work. So when you bring that card, it's not a card that we shall create time to what is most important. And being involved in your child's school is most important. Very, very important. All right. So whatever it is that you can offer. If you know how to plant beautiful flowers, go and help the school. Plant beautiful flowers. Let the school look beautiful. Go and help the school. Offer the training that you have. Let the school have it. Stop complaining. The school owners are also human beings. I'm not a school owner. You can imagine how passionate I am about this subject. I'm not a school owner. Ask anybody. I don't own a school. I am just passionate, about the fact that if you have your child in a system, you must be involved in that system. It's a simple, thing that, for us to really understand. So in fact, this subject is not a subject that we can just, let go. There's so much to talk about as regards this subject. Thank you so much, Ronke Posh, for opening this conversation. For me, it's an amazing conversation that we must open, and I'm sure we will be reaching out to you soon so that you can bring this conversation in the real sense of it outside of the conference. It's a continued conversation. It's something that we need to keep talking about. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for speaking the truth that is in the educational sector today. And thank you for verbalizing the words that a lot of educators cannot verbalize in this period. Thank you for bringing this to bear. Thank you for coming on TIP Conference 2020. This is the third edition of the TRP conference, and 2020 has been explosive. We've had 2 years. We've had 2018, 2019, and we're having this conference this year. And honestly, the different dimensions that have been brought on this conference is amazing. We don't take it for granted that you agreed to do this for the TIP Academy. We appreciate you, ma'am. We honor you. And thank you for bringing this ginger this morning that have not even allowed us to even log out. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. But like we say, if you're watching Ronke Posh at the TIP Conference 2020, one thing that you must do is to rave over her on social media. Don't go and sit down and tell me that you need to follow Davido, Hush Puppy. You are raving over them with millions of followers. Go and rave these people who have come here to give you this thing for free. We are asking you to pay. The payment is that you follow them on social media. The payment is that you announce them on your timelines. That's the payment we are asking you at TIP Academy. Don't forget to tag them with your quotes. Don't forget to also tag the intentional parent. We're on Facebook, the intentional parent. You can also join our community, the intentional parent, and talk about it. You know, one thing that you must understand is that these people have taken out, I'm sure Ronke Posh would have been sleeping right in her room right now and having the good time, you know, fanning, all right? But hey, she's here talking. I didn't pay her a dime. She's here. She's you know, right here with me. And so the only thing that you can do to pay is please give us, go and follow her. Please, ma, what's your handle on Instagram? Handle on Instagram?
Everywhere at Ronke Posh. Any other Ronke Posh is a counterfeit. Most current information right now is on my YouTube channel, because that is where I'm pumping my energy now. My YouTube channel at Ronke Posh. Any other one is a counterfeit. Anywhere, any handle, Twitter, Google, just put Ronke Posh, you find me. I'm not sure if I'm still live or if it's Wendy's. Okay, I think it's Wendy that has gone out. Okay, I'm not sure what to do, guys, but yeah, I'm here. So yeah, you can connect with me on social media, Ronke Posh. YouTube, I put a video out this morning, how Nigerian parents talk to their children about sex. You can find it on my page on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere. And I think I should sign off. Really, thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you for being intentional parents. God bless you. I'm not sure if I should wait for her. This is a polite thing to do, or if I should just go. Let me go. Okay, she's here.
All right.
I wasn't sure what to do. I felt so lonely.
Thank you.
I was like,
thank you so much. I didn't know that my Wi-Fi was not connected to the light source, so I was booted out of the studio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. So please look for Ronke Posh. She runs the community also on Facebook called Parents Right. Look for Ronke Posh anywhere on social media. Follow her, and please don't forget to talk about the things that she has said today. It's not just about following her. Post her on your way. You know the way you go and buy new clothes and you post on Instagram. You have just bought new clothes today. This knowledge is new clothes. So please go and get this new knowledge. Post it on Instagram. That's why in TIP, we're building the words of our speakers on marble, and we're sharing it to make digital footprint right on Google. So when you put Ronke Posh and her words, you will see it. You will see us raving over them, on our social media handle. So please don't forget to follow them. Thank you so much for following us. This morning session was hot. It was like a morning tea that it was a morning tea that came. It was a morning tea that came in. All right. Thank you so much for that. It was just amazing. We had a good tea. This tea was good. Awesome. Thank you,
Well
Ronke
done,
Posh.
my niece, and
I didn't
keep
have to do.
hydrated.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We appreciate. All I did was to call up Ronke Posh, and she answered me. I don't take it for granted that I'm able to get all these high and mighty women to come and speak to us at TIP Academy. It's not normal that they've agreed just to do this. The best we can do is to go on social media and rave over them. Don't forget to do that. This is TIP Conference 2020. And we just listened to Ronke Posh. Ronke Posh is an amazing public speaker. She's a school owner and she's a awesome parent coach. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for honoring our invitation. So we're going to return here at 5 p.m. And at 5 p.m., we're going to be having another amazing woman that I respect. Yinka Ogunde. She's going to be here at 5 p.m. You don't want to miss that session. It's going to be a conversational session as well. Or sometimes she's going to be telling you what your role as a parent must be in education. So don't miss to join us at 5. And immediately after 5, we will move to 6 p.m. with ZOB. ZOB is named as the homeschooling queen in Nigeria. ZOB homeschools 3 of our children, and she's going to be sharing with us what exactly about homeschooling do we want to know. And then we end the session at 8 p.m. with the amazing Marybeth. Marybeth will come and share with us how you can help your child find purpose. Marybeth's son Ron has been running a YouTube channel even before he became 18. So yes, we have the right person to talk about on that topic. So we're going to see you again at 5 p.m. Thank you for joining me. This has been an awesome. I'm going to take a replay of this session. I'm sure you want to do that also. But replays are only available on our YouTube channel. We have currently over 1,800 people from our Telegram channel connecting, and we also have people on our YouTube channel in their hundreds. We have people on our Facebook channel connecting, but replay will only be available on our YouTube channel. Replays will not be available in the Facebook group. So if you want a replay, log on to our YouTube channel, subscribe, click on that notification button so that you'll be notified whenever we have videos here. Thank you so much for being here. Please, ma'am, what will be your last word as we shut down in this session?
Please value education and pay for it.
Thank you. Also, please value education and pay for it. Thank you, everybody, and see you again at 5 p.m. This is the Intentional Parent Conference 2020. I am your host, the founder, Wendy Ologe, the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy, and we just had Ronke Posh talk to us about education in COVID-19 and post-COVID-19 conference. Thank you so much, and see you again at 5.